In the gym now, our S&C coach Tom has some very questionable choices. He's more of a 70s, 80s kind of rock music or musicals.
Mark, how did your GAA journey go?
I suppose how I got into it would be from a GAA family. My dad was our manager or our coach all the way up from under six to minor, and he was even selecting a few of my senior teams last few years. But yeah, just got involved straight away, made friends, and they're the friends that I've stuck with to this day, whether that in school or football. And I didn't want anything else rather than be down on the pitch where I'm from. It's all football now. There wouldn't be a hurling site, so
Not good with the old stick.
no, I wouldn't. The golf club maybe. Yeah, no, all football for me. And as far as I can remember, whether it was football or soccer, we were down playing.
So Mark, did you ever think you'd be playing for Laois when you were growing up?
My first time playing for Laois, I was in an under 12 development squad, and then just stayed in there and loved it every year. And as we progressed up, so I suppose when I got to about 12, I probably did then start dreaming that I could play for Laois one day. But yeah, I was on squads all the way up from 12 to minor. My granddad would have played for Laois back in the 50s, so he was always on to me as well, and saying, "Oh yeah, you could wear the jersey one day." But I suppose I never really thought about it until about minor. And I remember specifically one team talk we had after a minor game when our manager or our coach said that there will only be 4 or 5 in this team that could play for Laois seniors. So just lucky enough that I was one of them. I was called in then a few years later, and haven't looked back since.
If there's ever a tip up to Laois, is there any hidden gems in Laois that I should know about?
Well, I suppose the only thing people usually come to Laois for around September time, first week in September, and come for electric picnic. So I suppose 80 to 100,000 people flock to Laois, to Stradbally every year. Good lineup again this year. We've got the likes of Lewis Capaldi and Niall Horan, so
No,
the Killers. So if you want to come,
I've actually, believe it or not, I've been twice. Been twice, so no, it's obviously a very good event to have at home. So maybe I might get there. I'm not too sure, but hopefully back there sometime soon.
Yeah, well, we'd happily welcome you up.
We've obviously played each other a good few times recently. Who would be the toughest opponent to probably mark in training for you?
I suppose there's a good few lads that spring to mind. Mark Timmins has been around our panel for a good while, and he'd been notoriously the toughest marker in the squad. And to be honest, I haven't come up against him too many times in training, but when you do, you're in for a good battle. And other than that, we have a few sticky cornerbacks, so your likes of Robbie Piggott and Alex Mohan like to get nice and tight in front of your face. So I suppose those two spring to mind. Yeah,
and would they also be big motivators in the team, or have you got other players who are bigger motivators? Or
the biggest motivators in our squad, a few of the experienced lads, the likes of Kieran Lillis, James Finn, Mark Timmins. They mightn't say much, but they know what to say, when to say. Yeah. So when the time is right, they'll come out with a one-liner or a two-liner that just gets the whole squad focused again, and I suppose that's important for every team.
Who would be in charge of the music in the Laois camp?
In the Laois camp, we probably have two. We've in the gym now, our S&C coach Tom has some very questionable choices. He's more of a 70s, 80s kind of rock music or musicals. For that, we'd be playing sometimes in the gym, and we'd have to tell him to turn it off. But yeah, he takes a bit of a slagging for that. And then
you don't really want that type of song when you're going for your last reps and your bench or something like that, no?
100%. And then in the dressing room, whether that's a training or pre-match, it's actually Johnny, our physio.
Oh, really?
Johnny, our physio, is DJ. So because he's probably first in the dressing room, he has it set up, ready to go. And now he's good. He's good, to be fair. He's got a bit of a mix of everything and stuff you want to hear, I suppose, before a match. So Johnny takes the rep.